everybody, we're here for another TelfordRocks interview, and we're down at Scotch Productions on Horton Wood as usual, and today we've got the Sibling Rivalry, so we'll crack on with the interview and find out what they've got to say. Well, morning guys,
Morning.
Are you all well?
Okay. Not too bad.
Let's start off then by telling us who you are, your names and what you play.
I'm Ash, I do guitar vocal.
Rich do guitar vocals as well.
And Rob on drums.
And you've got a member missing today.
Oh yeah, bass player.
What's his name?
Colin.
Cool. You've been together for long?
About 2 years, isn't it? I think.
No, just over a year. It's not that long.
No, been gigging just over a year.
Yeah, we got together like December, but I mean, speaking in terms of gigging wise, like, we've only been gigging for about a year, so I was kind of that's how I
Spent a while putting it together first.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to make sure we had a good sound and sort of good solid sort of like very tight before we went out and gigged. We didn't want to be sort of a messy band. We thought we wanted to make it a good first impression. So I think we had a good sort of 6 months. Yeah, we had 6 months sort of graph.
Nothing down. Yeah.
And then just threw yourself out there then?
Yeah. I think we did, didn't we? I think we sort of burst out more than anything. Yeah.
Have you been playing quite a lot?
We were. I think we started off with gigging sort of like once, twice a week, sort of one stage, weren't we? Then like we decided we needed obviously to work on material.
Just this last couple of months, I mean, we've been hammering like getting a new EP out. So
Death and Taxes.
Death and Taxes EP. That's what it's called.
Sounds interesting.
Sounds
Have you got that finished?
It's all finished now. We're just mixing it now. So we're looking at a release probably first 2 weeks of September.
How many tracks you got on that?
6 tracks.
That's a good solid EP.
Yeah, it's the material's quite strong as well. We're quite happy with it. Really happy with how it sounds.
Plans to turn it into an album in the future?
Possibly. I mean, because we're not going to just stop recording at the EP. We've actually got a few more tracks in the pipeline as well. So I don't see why not. To be honest with you.
Cool, look forward to hearing that. Have you got many gigs coming up in the near future?
We've got the Bridge North Music Festival. Starts on the 22nd. We're playing at the Lamb, I think. Yeah.
And then the Falcon at the end. But we are trying to get gigs in between as well. If there's any venues that because we are starting and then finishing as well. So anything in between we'd be happy with.
So predominantly an originals band now.
Yeah.
How would you describe your music? Can you describe your music?
Yeah. We've got. I think that's a weird thing about us. Nobody can really label us as one sort of type of music. I mean, we're predominantly sort of indie rock music, but we've got all different influences. And it's like all sort of mashes together, and like nobody can really point out who our main influence is.
Yeah, that's the thing, because our influences are so diverse. I mean, it's quite interesting going to gigs because you'll have one person come up to you and say, "You sound like Arctic Monkeys," and then you'll go to another gig, and the same person, another person will come to you about the same song and say, "That sounds like Muse."
Yeah,
or I even had Queens of the Stone Age the other day, and I was like, well, I was quite flattered because I love Queens of the Stone Age and stuff, but I mean, them are 3 very different bands about it all over the same song, that is. And I mean, to have that, it's quite exciting because we're not frightened to branch out and grab all these different influences and clutch at straws and try new things. And so, it sounds pretty diverse, to be honest.
Who are individually sort of the main musicians and bands that have influenced you in the past and your favourite bands?
Well, talking about me, Rob, and Colin, we're more sort of the serious side, that's sort of Muse, Placebo, Radiohead, the more serious bands and stuff like that. While Ash is quite influenced by that as well, he also has a big influence from Libertines, Fratellis, Baby Shambles, stuff that's not so, it's quite jovial, so, and when we meld them sounds together, we get kind of a unique and interesting sound, so.
Yeah, sometimes better to not have everybody in the band coming from the same angle.
I think it just makes it a bit more interesting. So if you've all got similar influences, your music tends to copy. It's always it's like it sounds like the same sound. Whereas if you've got a few variations, the songs generally sound different, and people I think enjoy it a bit more. because we watched the editors, didn't we? It just sounded like 2 hours of the same song.
Yeah, it did. To be honest, I mean, we love the editors. Great to listen to on an album, but just don't go to a live. It's just it was just an hour of the same song. Really.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. There are quite a few bands out there, even some of the bigger bands, that unless you're really into that.
I think people get comfortable. I think they find the sound and they stick to it because they know it's good and they can work it. But us be like sort of experimenting with different.
Try and steer away from doing the same.
Constantly striving to do something a bit different. So,
that sounds good. Do you in any way have a formula for how you write the songs? Does one of you in particular write, or do you all get together and write the songs together?
I think Rich and Ash tend to.
I mean, with our current set, I mean, basically with me, it's I get the melody, rhythm, and the lyrics written, and then everybody throws in their two bob after that.
Yeah.
But Ashley is starting to write a few more songs now, and it's quite interesting as well because it's giving us another dynamic. It's because I mean, while his influences are different, as I said before, it's bringing a different sound, so it's quite interesting.
But then gelling everything together and having your own.
It's like, I know it's like some songs I've introduced, like they started off completely different to what we usually play, but then it's sort of coming in, we've got like, it's weird as soon as people put in their different inputs, the song morphs and it feels more like a rounded, like a whole thought, because it's just like my ideas and stuff like that, and I thought I had a different idea where I thought the song was going to go. Then say like Richard put a lead part over something, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see that going, but then it sounds good. It builds up. It's quite interesting to see it.
And it's good because we obviously at that same time we don't go off at too much of a tangent and break away from our sound that we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because I mean we keep each other in check in that way. But
I think we try to know what goes, don't we? We know what
yeah,
goes.
we don't want people getting confused about over who what direction we're going in. So we try not to break off at too big a tangent.
Yeah.
Cool.
Songwriting wise, so you're writing all your own stuff, you're going out gigging. Do you play any covers at any point when you play?
Occasionally we do, yeah. I think we're looking a bit more now because we're obviously trying to expand our fan base and stuff. So I think what we want to try and do is get songs that are going to draw people in.
Yeah.
I think like even if you just like open up a set with a song everyone knows, say if it's like a new release in the chart, then you get people interested then, and then when you introduce your own music, people seem to take to it a bit more than if you just try and bombard with like all your original stuff. Yeah.
It's always good to have a tune in that they all go mad for.
Yeah.
When you play to a pub of, which is quite packed, so, you play a tune and everybody knows and it gets them into you a bit more and they come up and start
just give
questions
after them a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you the sort of band that plays off the audience and feeds off the energy that an audience will give you?
I think we have done in the past. It is quite hard when you play and you got like one man and his dog watching you. You do get a bit sort of downhearted. We generally say if that happens, go on, just treat it as a practice, then we'll work on it for the next gig.
But saying that, we do tend to play a lot better when we've got a big crowd and we know that they're enjoying it. Just the energy, I don't know, it just picks you up a lot more.
When especially if you've got people, because we generally have a following come with you. We've got people there that don't really know who you are, and they're clapping and enjoying and whooping, wailing, whatever it does. Puts a smile on your face and thinking, it's really, it's uplifting. You do tend to show off a bit then when you play.